As I mentioned in the What's New section of this particular course, AutoCAD has a lot of new workspace technology as well. In the initial setup screens, you can customize your workspace, so you can have an architectural workspace or an electrical workspace or a mechanical workspace, depending on the environment in which you work. The default AutoCAD workspace is also still available. Now, workspaces are controlled in AutoCAD 2010 down on the status bar at the bottom of the screen. It's in the bottom right corner here. Can you see the words there, 2D drafting and annotation? And as I hover over them, I get the tooltip workspace switching. If I click on there, it will give me a shortcut menu showing me all of the workspaces that I have available. Now, as soon as you open up AutoCAD 2010, it opens up in the default workspace, which is 2D drafting and annotation. Hence it's ticked, and that is your current workspace. You have 3D modeling, which allows you to work in a 3D drafting environment in AutoCAD 2010. You also have the AutoCAD Classic workspace. That's for people who prefer the older setup of AutoCAD, with the toolbars and the icons. Now, we're going to look at each of these in turn in a moment, but what you'll also notice is automatically AutoCAD 2010 has migrated my AutoCAD 2009 workspaces through into AutoCAD 2010. Any workspace I set up in the initial setup screens is also there. There's my initial setup workspace. Now, what I wanted to show you quickly though was the Save Current As first of all. If I click on that, it'll allow me to save a workspace with a name that I give it, a user-defined name. So I'm going to put my initials in there, SCB, and then I'm going to put 2010 workspace. Now what that allows me to do is have my own workspace, so it's saving all of the workspace settings on the screen at the moment. So that's the arrangement of my ribbon, my panels, any icons, any toolbars, and so on. So if I hit save now, that will actually save that to the AutoCAD CUIX file, and you'll notice now down on the status bar I'm in SCB 2010 workspace. If I click on the workspace switching, you'll see that that is now currently my default workspace. If I go back to 2D drafting and annotation, as you can see, you'll see there 2D drafting and annotation now on the status bar. So let's have a look at these other ones. Let's have a look at 3D modeling, for example. You'll see the screen change. And it does chug a little bit sometimes, and the reason it's doing that is it's thinking about all the settings that it needs to bring into this workspace. The more settings that you have, the longer it takes to load up the workspace. It's not a dramatic amount of time, but it will think about it and your screen will go blank for a couple of seconds. Notice here it's loaded up the tool palette window with all my 3D tools, because I'm in 3D modeling workspace. I'm going to close the palette there, and as you can see now, my home tab is very different. It is now covered in 3D modeling tools. I've got a mesh modeling tab here, you'll notice, a rendering tab. So you'll see I've got lots of 3D tools in my 3D workspace. If I go back here now and click on workspace switching again and go to AutoCAD Classic, those of you that have used older versions of AutoCAD will most definitely recognize this workspace. As you can see there, it's thinking about it for a few seconds and it's loading up all the old toolbars. So you've got over here your draw toolbar on the left, you've got your tool palettes window here, which I'm going to close by clicking on the cross there, and then you've got your modify toolbar here and your draw order toolbar. You'll notice there's a bit of a rogue toolbar there that's kicked in. Again, just like in older versions of AutoCAD, I click on the cross and it closes the toolbar for me. So again, I go down here to workspace switching, and what I'm going to do now, I'm going to go back to my default workspace, the 2D drafting and annotation, and as you can see I'm flicking straight back now into 2D mode, ready for 2D drafting in AutoCAD 2010.